Hey guys, it's Pedro back with another interview covering VCT America's Stage 2 playoffs. For this occasion, I'm here accompanied once again by Com of Leviatan, who are coming off of a lower bracket finals victory over Crew Esports to progress to the grand finals of said competition. And Com, thank you so much for another conversation. And like I said at the very end of the introduction, making to the grand finals over Crew, what's the feeling like for you?
Feels very good. I mean, I've been to two grand finals in Tokyo and Champions last year, so it feels good to be able to make it to top two of like any competition again and make a grand finals. And obviously, it has like the whole hype around it and excitement to like just be able to be on that stage for a grand final. So super excited.
Yeah, of course, looking back onto the end of the 2023 domestic season, you were in EG, weren't able to crack the grand finals back then, losing in the lower bracket finals to NRG. This time you're making it with Leviathan. How do you kind of compare, that experience coming so close to the grand finals last year and now this year coming in to the grand finals after quite a tough series against a team like Crew?
I think it's a little different from last year because 2023 EG, I think whenever we qualified for both Tokyo and Champs, we kind of just like fully like took our foot off the gas where we were just like, we're just happy to like be there at that time. And then this year it's a little different where I'm on a team with like very high expectations. We want to win everything that we're involved in. So I'd say this is a little bit more like expected for us. Like we understand like we should be in this position. Now it's just about going out and like showing why we deserve to be there.
Yeah, for sure, and showing out you definitely did today. Talking about the series now against Crew, I mean, obviously a vast contrast compared to the first encounter in playoffs where you guys dominated them, not even letting them win at most 6 rounds. I mean, just talking about Crew, what kind of adjustment did you see that within that team that just made it kind of difficult for you guys, or also did you kind of feel like the biggest issues was more so inwards? What do you kind of think?
We were definitely starting to get frustrated, definitely after Haven, because we felt like we had that map. And then I think that kind of trickled into like I think Sunset was next, so it showed like two bad maps for us. After that, we kind of just like regrouped, reset, and honestly, we just felt like we were getting pretty unlucky in some rounds. Some rounds our fundamentals were pretty bad. Same story as like against G2, but we were able to like kind of make it a little bit better throughout the maps. And yeah, we're looking to go in full force.
For sure, I was just also going to ask you about maps 4 and 5. Going down 2-1 in Crew. I mean, that looked like Crew was going to be in a position to take the series, move on to the grand finals, but obviously that didn't happen. You guys came back. I mean, talking a little bit more onto what you just said about what the team did, adjusting mentally or even strategy-wise. What do you think just make the spark for you guys to just return to normalcy for you guys?
I think it was just like we kind of smiled, just had a good time. I mean, I feel like our team is like a very serious team, so whenever things kind of go wrong, sometimes it becomes a little bit hectic in the comms. But I kind of like try to tell the guys like, listen, just relax, have a good time. That's kind of like my job in the team. I think that's been my job for like every team, make sure everyone is like happy, make sure everyone's like having a good time playing the actual game. And then everything after that is kind of like what I show individually, So
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I want to ask you now about just Ascent. I mean, obviously the new comp that you guys brought out with the deadlock. I already asked Aeropada just sort of whether there's some inspiration from Sentinels because they kind of put out a similar beat earlier on in the season, but still, what kind of had you guys or enabled you guys to devise that cup and then finally bring it out against Crew?
I think we just really liked it. It kind of fit us a little bit better than the original like default comp. We kind of took it from, I think Dark Zero was the first team that ever made that comp in Tier 2. And it just kept winning maps against like the default comp. And we noticed a lot of teams in Americas are like kind of afraid to like take that leap to like go to Deadlock Cypher and stuff. And, it just feels like that comp was most comfortable for us. So we changed to it. And today was a good result on it.
What do you think? Do you think it's gonna have a bigger presence, for that map in particular?
I think so. I think it's probably the best comp on that map. I think if things start getting weird and people throw in random stuff, then that comp holds more weight than the default comp. But yeah, I think it's the best at the moment.
For sure. I mean, I want to ask you also just about how you kind of compare Crew as an opponent, because obviously, like I said before, it was much more easier affair in the first match. Obviously, today, when it's map 5, that speaks for itself. Just want to ask you, just what do you think was the biggest difference in just taking on Crew from that previous match to now?
I think they came in with a lot more confidence, and they were doing some like very off things that we weren't really prepared for, honestly. We kind of like tried to soup them up for the next maps whenever it kept happening. Then yeah, they just played with full confidence. They had no pressure. Let's be honest. Like they made champs, and you know they had no pressure. We had more pressure to like make it to grand finals again.
Yeah, for sure. And at the end of the day, you are making to the grand finals with another chance, with a chance to claim your first domestic title. Mm-hmm. I mean, I want a little bit of a backtrack on just making champions, because you already did that earlier on in playoffs, and comparing the many teams that made champions last year to this year. Focusing specifically on EG, you are the last or only member of that squad to return to that international stage. I mean, just want to ask you just about that. What it means for you to just still be at it, still contribute to an elite level team, and also just sort of being the only one to even return to that stage.
Mm-hmm. I think for me, what people don't see online is like kind of what I bring outside a game. I know inside a game, like I got some talented teammates. Like, what am I supposed to do, honestly? Obviously, I'm very talented in my own right, but honestly, like I'm just very appreciative to be around this group of players. And like honestly, trying to defend the title at champs this year is kind of like I'll bring on like the shoulders of all like my XCG teammates too, because those are like my family. I'll always think they're my family no matter what. I went through so much with them, so I'm going to grind as hard as possible to defend our title and be like the member that like kind of signifies all of them into one. So that's how I feel about that. And then for me, being on such an elite team, I think for me it's like people like to measure stats and different things, but I think the biggest stat that you can like measure is wins as a player. What player wins the most? And I think in recent history that I've won a good amount overall. So
for sure, last year's champions title speaks for itself and then some. Just want to now ask you about tomorrow, G2. Mm-hmm. Any thoughts on them and any kind of adjustments you guys will make for tomorrow?
We'll definitely adjust some things because I think we were pretty readable in the first game. And I think we know what we messed up on in the first series, so I think we'll come in a lot more like confident in what we're gonna do, and we got nothing to lose here. Like I said it on stage as well. They have all the pressure. They have 2 map bans. They look good in the first series against us. If they stoop anywhere below that, then it feels a lot more pressure probably on them. So at the end of the day, we got nothing to lose. They got everything to lose.
Simple question. How much do you want VCT Americas the title, coming close, like I said, and now you have that chance. Now you have the first chance to make it happen.
I want it very badly. I mean, like, an esports player's, like, lifespan is not very long. Like, I think everyone knows this. Like, every esports player has, like, maybe 5 or 6 years of their whole lifespan to be a pro. So, I want to accomplish as much now so I can enjoy like looking back on it and how hard I worked. So this means a lot to me. It'd be nice to get like a domestic title, as you said, and yeah, I want to win as much as I can while I'm here.
Hopefully you're able to do that. But at the very least, you're on the right track for making that happen. Com, thank you so much for doing this interview. Really appreciate it, and best of luck tomorrow.
Thank you. Appreciate you.